Hello, critical thinking and AI is the focus of this talk. It came about as I was teaching a session to some management students recently. Basically, and I'm not the first to say this and certainly will not be the last, AI poses a very real danger of making people lose the ability to think for themselves. A very simple example of AI doing the hard work for us to begin with. On a visit to China at the beginning of this academic year, I met an old friend and he was telling me how he'd used AI to plan a short holiday to Nanjing. ChatGPT suggested where he should stay, what he should do, where to eat, basically planned his whole trip for him. Quite amazing, really. And as he later said, he did have a fine time in Nanjing, but he didn't have to think about anything in planning the trip. That saved him a load of time, which is great, but isn't there a satisfaction in knowing that you researched and planned your own trip? Anyway, the example from the management class I was teaching. So we'd been going through evaluating the credibility of sources for use in your research, and then we moved on to analysing and interpreting information that's presented in articles and reports. We looked at how language can be used to influence how the reader might think about an issue. The topic was sustainable fashion, so we were looking at how fashion brands highlight their positive environmental points with some exaggeration, but offer a rather vague view of future targets to convince you that they care about the environment. We also looked at how critics of fast fashion use very strong language to highlight the negatives, but offer vague and non-specific evidence to support their criticisms of fast fashion. Lastly, we moved on to looking at a graph about the increasing use of synthetic fibres like polyester, nylon, lycra, and such like in recent years compared to the use of cotton to make clothing. I asked the students to think, the key word there is think, about why there might have been this big increase in the use of synthetic fibres in the last 20 years. A couple of minutes later, when I asked one student what he thought might be the reason, he took his phone and he read an AI generated answer to the question from his phone. His answer was wholly accurate. My issue with doing this is that he hadn't invested any brain power at all into that answer. He'd just typed in the question and read the answer with no thought whatsoever. And worryingly, it's likely that his whole degree will continue along these lines, and he'll graduate with an excellent ability to use AI, but very little ability to think for himself. At this point, it's worthwhile looking into the soft or transferable skills that employers look for in graduates and how AI may impact on the development of these skills. So UCAS, which is the UK University Admissions Service, offers the following. They say that resilience, the ability to cope with setbacks and criticisms and be motivated to overcome obstacles and stay calm under pressure, is one big need of employers. And the second one is a positive attitude to work, punctuality, flexibility, and verbal communication skills. Another organisation called Prospects, which is a graduate careers guidance service, offers the following. The most sought after transferable skills are reliability and self-discipline, resilience and adaptability, critical thinking and analysis, creativity and originality, and finally, reasoning and problem solving. Now, some of these transferable skills are, I would argue, not helped at all by AI and the internet more generally. On communication skills, critical thinking and analysis, reasoning and problem solving, I think AI and the internet more generally does have a negative impact. If you can find the answer to a question or the solution to a problem in literally seconds online, there is little point in discussing the question or the problem with colleagues or peers. There's no need to consider the benefits and drawbacks of possible solutions and answers. There's no creativity if AI produces an answer for you. There's no need for reasoning if the reason is AI said so. And we know that AI does not produce original answers. I suppose it could be argued that if you always get the right answer with AI, then there's little chance to develop resilience and adaptability either. So overall then, I see that there are many benefits with AI, but at the same time, especially for young people, the risks of overusing it could mean that they're not developing the transferable skills that they'll need in the future. Leave your comments in the box if you agree. Thank you.